Hey everybody, I am back from my little break. Sorry about that. The last video was pre-recorded and it took me about 5 months to complete that. But don't worry, I am back on making videos for you guys. So, fake being sick. A few weeks ago, I'd make a joke about my coworker saying, I haven't been caught in that coronavirus and it's been here for 2 years. Maybe I will be lucky and I won't get it this year. Uh-oh. So, while my time in quarantine, I thought about times where I would fake being sick to get out of something. You know what I mean, when you fake being sick to get out of work, school, or just hang out with your friends. It's something that we all have done. So when I was little, I never liked school. I'm pretty sure no one else did too. So I would try at least to do everything I can to not go to school. And I was always jealous that other people got to miss school because they were sick and not me. What? Tom and Adam are homesick while I'm stuck here doing schoolwork? Man, lucky? Sweetie, are you okay? Do you have an upset stomach? Where's the medicine? I'm dying, woman! One way I would try to get out of school was to act sick. Oh, dearest mother, it seems I have contracted pyrexia to the highest degree and must stay home to recuperate. And 5% of the time, it works, because I was actually sick. The other times where I tried it, didn't go so well. Sick, huh? How about I slap some sickness away from you with the chancla? Now go ahead and drink some of that kid medicine and get ready for school. Same applies with pain. Mom, my body hurts and I can't stand it. Get some ibuprofen and walk it off. Your bones are just growing. Mom, I just threw up. I think I may actually have a stomach virus. Huh? That's just stomach acid. Go eat some breakfast and walk it off. Hey man, you don't look so good. I just didn't walk it off. But in my case, one of the reasons why I couldn't just stay home is because both of my parents were working and just they couldn't afford to stay home and watch me. But when they did, I get to relax home, watch some cartoons, stay in my blanket, and just eat some good soup. Side note, I actually got sick one time. My mom made some killer soup that was amazing when I was sick. But when I tried it when I was feeling better, it just tasted awful. Really bummed me out that I couldn't enjoy the soup anymore. There was a moment where the night before school, I was starting to feel really sick. And I told my mom about this. Mom, I don't feel so good. Don't be silly, just go to bed and get ready for tomorrow. The next morning comes. I'm not feeling better than I thought I would. I think I need to stay home. Don't be silly, just walk it off and you'll be fine. It was about like 5 minutes later and I threw up before the bus got here. Oh, so you really are sick? You just didn't walk it off, honey. So after years of trying to lie to my parents so I can stay home, I decided that instead of lying to my parents, I should lie to the school and get out of school. Turns out, lying to your mom is a lot more easier than trying to lie to adults who have seen all the excuses, especially working with students. Ma'am, I need to go home. I think I have a fever. Oh yeah? Well, the thermometer says that you're 96. Sit back down. Ma'am, my body hurts and I think I need to be let go. Here's an apple. Just sit around and do nothing. Your bones are just growing. Man, my head hurts a lot now. It's just your brain growing for all this knowledge you're gaining. Sit back down. Put your goddamn hand down, you're not sick. But there was a day where I had to be let go early and it's due to a medical reason. You see, it was one day in spring. I woke up fine, homework done, and had a day planned out with my friends. Got to my heated bus, sat down, comfortable, and while I was on the way to school, I decided to take a nap. The moment I opened my eyes were red, tearing with water, nose plugged up to the rim with snot and mucus. There was only one thing for sure. Pollen. Sure, it was bad, but I decided to keep on going because it was a good day. Not even 2 hours later, I was sent home. I just couldn't do it. My body just was terrible. On the plus side, it was a good day to sleep in. On the downside, how unfortunate you missed school, honey. They just had chicken nuggets on the menu today. What? Well, I did have my fair shares of being sick. I never had any injuries that prevented me from going to school. This story isn't really about sickness or injury, but it's pretty funny how I really did not want to go to school that day. I woke up late one day. I figured that my bus already passed. I looked around and saw that my parents weren't home yet. It seemed pretty odd because they always leave an hour after I leave, and it's only been 15 minutes. Since I didn't know when they'll be back, I really did not want to go to school midday and just be there for half the day. So instead of just me waiting for my parents to get home, I decided to hide from my parents. I looked around to see what I can do, and here's what I came up with. I threw my backpack in the hamper and put some clothes on it to make it disappear. Lastly, I left my door unlocked only because I don't have a key, so I couldn't lock it from the outside, making it look like I left. And lastly, I had to hide myself. I couldn't find anywhere else to hide, so my brilliant self decided to hide in the closet. Easy. Now a minute later, I heard the living room doorknob move. I hear my parents coming through and another person I couldn't suspect. And suddenly my room door opened and I hear footsteps going around. I hear my mom talking to somebody, telling them that they can stay if they want to, and shut the door. I hear the person rummaging through the room, and I just stood there in silence trying not to make a move. And then suddenly, the door opened, and then I saw it. My sister. Turns out she was in a doctor's appointment which had her the day off, but also gave a reason why my parents weren't there at the time. After a bit of blackmail, my sister decided to help me out until it was time for me to get out. I was happy at first. Finally, a day where I can have it myself and I can do whatever I want. I accidentally fell asleep 2 hours later, and then wasted my time doing nothing. The constant paranoia of my parents coming in any minute and just looking at me, it felt really terrifying. Keep in mind, I don't have a lock in our room, so there was little time to react to it in case she came in. You might be wondering why my sister was in my room, but that's technically because we live in the same room. So it was about 20 minutes before my bus supposedly should have come, so I decided to make another plan to get out of the room and get out of the house and make it look like I came back in from the bus. So here's my version 2.0 of the plan. I sneakily go downstairs while my sister comes along with me, so she mimics my footsteps so it doesn't look like there's two people rather than one person stepping at the same time. I go around my backyard, sneaking past my parents, and then going to the church and going right behind it so it looks like I came out of it, because that's usually where the bus comes from. We go down the basement, I go to the backyard, and around my house. I go underneath the front living room window and silently went around it, due to my parents being there at the time. Now, I don't know why I did that, and looking back at it, I could have just gone the other way and jumped the fence and made it less suspicious, but I had to think about it smartly. Also, I thought it'd be cool. I went behind the church, waited like 5 minutes, and then came back. I said hello to my mom, she said hi, and I made it. Mission accomplished. Yes, sir. Fun fact, I tried doing this thing one more time, but it didn't work because I didn't do some of the things that I was supposed to do in the beginning, such as putting away my book bag and having the door unlocked. I came out defeated and had to go back to school. Now, being fake sick during work is a whole different discussion, and I'd rather talk about that